Hey friend, happy 2024. The best way to start any kind of morning, obviously, is going to be first is getting some light into the house, into the place. And while it would be a good idea, usually we tend to, at some point, open the windows to get some fresh air in at the start of the day. Just right now, at least, especially while Rose is sleeping, I'm going to leave the windows closed. And also, I like to start off the day with water, because it is one of the best things for your body. You wake up, you get out of bed, you roll out of bed, open the blinds, get some light into the house, open the windows if it's nice out, just to get some nice airflow, get some new breeze, new energy, and then drink some water. And I'm actually going to be drinking some spring water today. I do have friends that do some hydrogen water. That's awesome. I'm going to be doing spring water. The start of the day is actually when the energy is more aligned with the seventh crown chakra. And so this gives us a little bit more of a connection to something that is more divine, something that is greater than ourselves. And this is a wonderful time to actually connect with our thoughts, our mind, our spirit, our energy, and to do some meditations and to set our intentions for the day. I usually like to sit or lay down with these meditations, and I just do a simple body check. I check in, I sit down, I take a few breaths. I usually count up to 6 full breaths to get my lungs moving, get some oxygen flowing in my system. And I like to start off by looking and doing a body check after my breaths. I check in and I say, how are my toes doing? And I wiggle my toes. I say, how are the pads of my feet doing? How are my arches, my heels? Is there any discomfort? How do they feel today? And then I move on to the ankles and I roll my ankles a little bit. How do my ankles feel? And I work all the way up. And I check in with each part of my body. And if I experience any tightness, I focus on that area of the body and I just take a deep breath. How does my body feel? And I just allow myself to just accept that however my body is today is how it is today. I say, however you feel, that's okay. My big toe, if you're feeling a little jammed, that's totally okay. I just breathe and just let it out. And this opens things up and it sets me off for a day of giving myself a little bit of compassion, a little bit of nurturance, because how often do we do this for ourselves? We're very likely to treat somebody else to this kind of behavior, but not ourselves. Well, recently I learned that this is actually, this is what self-love actually is. And for the things that we'd like to do for others, but we wouldn't do for ourselves, that's withholding that love from ourselves. And there's a little bit of resistance there in giving ourselves some of that affection, some of that attention. And so if you're a kind of person who struggles with self-love or struggles to take care of yourself the way you would take care of somebody else, one of the things that helped me is considering that your body is actually a separate being from your mind. But when you treat your body like it is a separate being, you actually start to take care of it a little more. You actually pay attention a little bit more. You don't ignore things a little bit more. Back in the day, if I was hungry, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just go hungry. But if I had the thought, would I allow my partner to go hungry? Would I allow my pets to go hungry? No, I wouldn't. I'd get up and I'd feed them. And so I do that with myself nowadays. And for this meditation today, I focused more on some chakra alignments. But as I sit here through the video and do my chakra alignments, I'm going to do a little bit of an astro forecast for you today. A little bit of a weather for the astrology. And what we're using is the true sky. So some of the things I'm going to be saying are going to contradict or be different than what you may hear in mainstream astrology. And that is because I'm going off of where the planets are in the sky. I'm going off of actual alignments because that is the way astrology works. And not based off of a seasonal pattern that was constructed 2,500 years ago. Today is Moon Day, Monday, day of the moon. And Mondays are usually not a day for work. Mondays are usually typically a day for reflection, usually a day for staying at home, rejuvenating. And if you had a crazy night last night, then this may be a perfect day. But if you're out there and you're pushing it, be gentle with yourself, because moon days are not natural days to work. The energy is not conducive for working. And that's why most people struggle on Mondays. It has nothing to do with going from a weekend into straight to the work week. Moon days are just not a day for that. So be gentle with yourself. But overall, today, January 1st, 2024, the sun is currently located on the 13th degree of Sagittarius. And this is the reason why I had said in my post on the Insta story that when the clock strikes midnight, we are not going into a completely different energy, because Sagittarius is a mutable sign. It is the transition sign between two other signs. Mutable means to be adaptable. It means to be flexible. It is not initiatory. The energy is not starting. The energy is not ending. We are in the middle of a cycle. This is why New Year's resolutions often fail, because Sagittarian energy is all about spontaneity. It is all about trying things, but it's not about setting things. So this is not a time to set yourself some kind of resolution. What you need to do with this kind of energy is to allow yourself to find a positive outlook towards your healing journey, that being the 13th degree healing. The body and the mind are restless, and they need to engage with the spiritual self in a much deeper and meaningful way. Accept all parts of yourself today and allow your spirit to become reborn for 2024. The energy between your spirit, your heart, and the divine are flowing well today. So speak from the heart. Expand upon your authentic nature, and luck will find you. There are limitless possibilities right now at the moment for fire signs specifically. So right now, you get to figure out how far you can go. And this is especially for true Sagittarians and true Aries. How far can you go right now? As long as you can hold on to the positivity, luck will find you. Now, the moon is 29 degrees Leo today. And you don't need to memorize any of these degrees, obviously. But 29th degree of Leo, in the true constellation of Leo, this is asking us to bring some authority to your immediate environments, to find a way to share yourself more with your chosen community. Your heart is in the right place right now, and you can bring warmth and generosity to those in close proximity. Just beware of gossip and drama, however, because people in general may be more interested in their own feelings today and quite possibly could feel or act better if they're acknowledged or they receive some type of recognition in a way. So overall, you'll want to just learn more about yourself and what sparks your curiosity with this energy, and allow others to just be who they are. Allow others to just be today. Be their authentic selves, you be your authentic self. And focus may be a challenge with this being on the 29th degree, but keep bringing yourself back to center and make sure that whatever it is that you're working on today, that you see it through no matter how long it takes. But if you have a sun in Leo between August 7th through September 14th, when the moon is in your sign, you may want to actually stay home today or just recognize that you actually may be a little bit more emotional than usual. And this goes for any sign. When the moon is transiting in your current sign, that's usually a day to kind of stay home or to take it easy, to be gentle with yourself, because your emotional warehouse is going to be a little bit more heightened because it is touching your natal sun. And so the moon is basically sitting on top of the place where your sun used to be in your natal chart. And so this frequency and this energy kind of resonates at you and kind of makes the day a little bit challenging emotionally. The moon in general is coming to the third quarter phase, however, and this is also actually another repeated theme from the universe, that this is not a time to set intentions or resolutions, because the third quarter phase of the moon is usually deemed unfavorable, and that is because it is the second half of the lunar cycle, which is the closing part of the cycle. So this third quarter phase is usually around the crisis energy of the moon, as the chapter that we're currently going through starts to come to an end. It hasn't ended yet, but it's starting to come to an end. And so this is the time to kind of reflect. This is the time to kind of let go of the energy of the last few weeks. This is not a time for pushing. This is not a time for starting anything new or to trying to do anything last minute. the theme of this third quarter with this sun, it's repeating that again, that lesson, that phase, that message. This is the time to start winding down. Take a notice, reflect on the last few weeks, the last couple weeks for you, and what has come up for you, and what kind of things were you trying to accomplish. You want to re-engage with your last new moon intention and see what are the things that you did that worked and what are the things that didn't work. Now, jot down the things that you had to, that didn't work or something that you didn't focus on this last time, and find a way to put those to the side and solidify the habits and the ideas that you have been working on, and how can you fully integrate them into your daily life. Mercury is still in retrograde till late Tuesday evening. We are no longer in retrograde on the 3rd of January, which is wonderful. But until then, be wary about today and tomorrow. Mercury is on the 8th degree of Ophiuchus. And what this means is you may think you've done a lot of work on yourself, but there's still so much more work to do. And at least, again, for the next couple of days, bring awareness to any darkness or negativity that is being contained within your mind. And give your spirit permission to transmute this darker energy into brighter, lighter thoughts, brighter, lighter energy. These could be the events that took place in your life and reflecting on those and recognizing that what happened to you in your life was made for the universe to work for you and wasn't something that just happened to you. And if this isn't about psychological habits, this could also just be thoughts and ideas and projects that you want to blow the dust off of. You take out of the closet. You allow yourself to revisit these ideas, these themes, these projects. And there may be something new there that can spark something in you, that can give you a little bit of motivation, or can rekindle something that you may have lost. You just don't want to make sure that you lose yourself in delusions of grandeur, because this Mercury retrograde does not have a favorable aspect or relationship with Neptune right now, which is the planet of illusion and delusions. So you want to re-engage with your dreams and visions. Just make sure you're not wearing rose-colored glasses with these projects. And with that being said, with this alignment, this is also not a time to be a martyr with your dreams or to lose yourself into spiritual bypassing on why it's not the right time to do something because you think you're leaving it up to the universe. It's very likely with this alignment, it could be that you're simply trying to avoid future disappointments, the things that we haven't wanted to face for so long, and now they're coming up to the surface, and we can't ignore these habits anymore. We can't ignore these things that have happened to us in the past anymore. And now we get to communicate. Now we get to bring it to the forethought and say, okay, well, how can I constructively work with these thoughts? How can I constructively work with this baggage? And what can I do with it? How can I be better? That is another way that this energy may show up. Venus today is on the 2nd degree of Scorpio. So this is more transformational energy. This energy is deeply dissatisfied with superficiality in every shape or form. Find the truth in your values and make sure that they have some depth to them. This is a wonderful time with Venus to get back in touch with your relationship to your physical body and your sexuality. The body may be speaking very loudly for some of us to give it the proper love and attention it really needs right now. And beware of overindulging in rich food and drink and environments that are toxic or spending a lot of time with people who are toxic, right? The body wants to experience pleasure, but not at the cost of actually becoming harmed in a way or creating some kind of chronic condition or falling into some unhealthy relationship. This may also be a time to pool resources. Create a budget for yourself and your partner now that the holidays are over. Make sure you're not overspending. Make sure you're not overindulging and that you're pooling and you're sharing your resources, that there is some sort of collective teamwork going on between you and your intimate relationships. This is also a time to ground your body, become embodied, and be honest with yourself about the psychological habits that may be affecting your physical body. Now, don't be too harsh on yourself, however. You don't want to completely do the opposite and cut off and be overly restrictive and cruel to your body as well. But responsibilities of the body, taking care of the body and finding the values that you have in life, that's something that Venus really wants to touch upon right now. And to find a little bit of empowerment, perhaps, within your relationship to your body, and maybe to finding empowerment through the relationships that you have. Are the people that you're around, are they your ride or dies? Or are they people who are just draining you like spiritual, energetic vampires and they need to go? This is something Venus wants us to look at. And also, responsibilities and financial limitations could also get in the way of certain pleasures. But there is a way to be responsible and still enjoy yourself for this energy as well. Because there's powerful energy here to transform some bad habits and to become aware of psychological walls. So we don't want to waste this opportunity, and we want to make sure that we are actually paying attention to that. Mars has come to the first degree of Sagittarius, and this is actually maybe some of that new energy that we may be feeling for some of us. Because Mars and Sagittarius, this is that vibrant energy to kind of get up and explore and to have fun and to get stuff done and having the courage to step out of our comfort zone and to try new things. So stick with this energy, but again, just hold off on a few more days before you're trying anything new until Mercury retrograde is completely cleared. And if you kind of stick to this positive energy, then you will be rewarded. Again, this is another one of that kind of repeated themes that we talked about with the sun. You want to stick with this energy, stick with this natural drive and this willpower to actually do what needs to be done and to get uncomfortable. But you will only be rewarded if you stick with this courage. You have full autonomy here and a very important decision to make. And it's your job to put some effort into making this decision and to be decisive with this decision. And you won't have anyone else to blame other than yourself if you choose not to act with this energy. So the trick is you have to believe you can do it. You have to believe that you can change it no matter the circumstances. And whatever this is to you, you may just want to look at where Sagittarius falls in your chart. But Mars is a very go-getter energy, especially when it's in a fire sign. The motivation, the inspiration may come and go, but this is that holding on to that belief and that future vision, that future horizon, that something great and beautiful is just around the corner. You just have to have the courage and the belief to go for it. So again, hold off on the new for a couple more days, and then just let it rip. Just go for it. Go explore and discover, and keep an open mind. Allow those horizons and that expansion of the mind, body, and soul to really take you. See if it can take you, how far it can take you. Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is no longer retrograde, which is fantastic. Our manifesting energy is coming back online. Our luck is coming back online, especially for fire signs. Again, this particularly for Aries, for anyone who's April 21st through May 13th. This is a lucky day for you, a lucky period, if you're able to actually take responsibility for your energy and your discipline, and you actually put yourself out there. Now, the possibilities of what you can accomplish with this alignment are unlimited at the moment, again, so long as you have faith and trust in your abilities and your full autonomy. Now, with this being Jupiter being on the 17th degree of Aries, you're going to want to find a cheer section to provide you with a level of nurturance to keep you motivated, because this energy is a little bit more softer than some of the other degrees, and this energy wants to take off, but it may need a little bit of hand-holding just at the beginning, just to start out with. But anyways, this is a great time to lean into your moral compass, to guide you forward, to guide you gently. Be gentle with yourself as you start to get back on the metaphorical horse for 2024. And again, this is a lucky time for those born between April 21st and May 13th. Saturn is on 8 degrees Aquarius, according to the ecliptic, the sky. So also, this is no longer in retrograde, which can be good, can be not good, depending on your chart. But this is a resuming of the responsibilities, resuming of navigating the new technological updates that have entered our society, more laws, more restrictions, and more limitations on personal freedoms, and possibly more restrictions and more integration of this AI that could be ramping up again. So with Aquarius being this technological advanced sign, this is usually where we get into that kind of robotics, that kind of AI, the artificial intelligence. And with Saturn being here, this is us trying to find a constructive way of dealing with that and finding ways to improve that and creating a foundation that can actually utilize these technologies. So whether this is an integration into our government and the way that we enter a new society, that is totally something that is on the table at the moment. So this new energy is about constructive change as a society and how we need to be mature enough to recognize if we need to put limitations on ourselves in this area of our life so that it is not abused, this power is not abused. And how these changes bring about these new responsibilities, we're figuring that out as we go, but we have a responsibility to figure that out at the moment. Just so long as these limitations don't put too many restrictions on our personal freedoms. Because on a personal level, we're being asked to be more innovative, especially in the approach to our duties in life. And we need to leave the old ways behind. And this is a time, again, for building a new foundation under your feet in a way that you may have never thought of before. So you don't want to limit yourself when you're in this
energy, but you also kind of want to be realistic at the same time. And those two things are not mutually non-exclusive, exclusive. I don't know if I'm saying the right word. But the line between this kind of energy, again, is this line between environmental safety, societal safety, and the personal freedoms and liberty. It's becoming very blurry at the moment, and that is something that we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on, looking towards the future and making sure that where we're headed is exactly where we want to go, and it's exactly what you had envisioned for your future. Otherwise, if you're not agreeing with where we're headed, now's the time to speak up. And you get to empower yourself, with this being the 8th degree of Aquarius, to have a little bit more empowerment, a little bit more self-mastery over being able to speak up and joining the communities that actually share and are working towards the same future that you want to work towards. And with Saturn having some energy here with this 8th degree, you also just want to be aware of any kind of emotional manipulation or any kind of governmental fear porn that tries to persuade you against your own intuition. That is something that you want to keep in mind. Uranus is also in retrograde, like Mercury, and it is 3 degrees Aries. So we're still changing as individuals, at least on the inside, and there could be a lot of frustration for some reason as we start to enter this new chapter as a society, as a collective. So this isn't a time to suppress your inner rebel, per se. This is a time to embrace the change and, again, to kind of speak up and experiment with these new innovations that are coming into society at the moment. And as this does show up, because Uranus is in retrograde, just be aware that some others, they may have they may want to rebel, they may want to blow up and go against the grain, and that's just their way of processing this new kind of world we're moving into. And so others with this alignment collectively can show their assertiveness or their aggression through passive-aggressive jokes. The comedians are on fire right now and talking about political turmoil and the things that are going on right now globally. So that's kind of how this energy is kind of showing up. This could also be showing up as people not taking things seriously, with this being the 3rd degree, not taking things seriously with these changes, and maybe trying to bring some humor or levity to these scenarios, and how, while humor can be a good thing at the moment, we do still need to take these new changes, these new innovations seriously, because we're shaping our future right now. And with Uranus being in Aries, we need to make sure that our individual perspective on where we want to head needs to be voiced and needs to be asserted. Otherwise, no one else is going to be able to know, and you're going to lose your opportunity to speak out. So if you have thoughts and ideas, share them. And if these thoughts are a little bit all over the place right now, that's totally okay. We have Neptune, 5 degrees Pisces. So the universe is speaking loud and clear right now. Are you listening? We're all entering uncharted territories as we move forward. We are no longer in known waters. And the way through this period of time, this point of time, collectively, is through faith and surrender. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about absolute trust in the universe and accepting what you cannot control and letting it go. The universe knows what it is doing, and it knows what it is doing for you. And with this energy being so strong, Neptune is naturally suited in Pisces. That's Neptune's natural domain, the ocean. Okay? King Triton, Poseidon. This is the natural position for this planet. And for this being in the water, in the ocean, we are collectively in the middle of the ocean with no map. We cannot swim against the tide. We need to find where the tide is going, lay on our backs, and allow Neptune, allow this energy to take us to where we need to be. Because with this kind of energy and with the things that are going on right now, it is very, very easy to get disappointed with life at the moment. But we have to recognize we are not a victim to it. We are not a victim to life. This is a beautiful relationship that we have with life, and it needs to ebb and flow, and we need to ebb and flow with it. We cannot escape reality. Instead, we're being tasked to promote our personal heavens on earth and bring our dreams to the real world. So pay very close attention to your dreams, pay very close attention to any repeated themes that cannot be explained, and that is the universe trying to speak to you. So be open. For those who are energetically sensitive, we will all be more sensitive than usual because this alignment is stronger, because this is a natural placement. The energy flows easier And so it comes in and out a lot more. So if you've been wondering why everyone is so stressed out, why everyone is so sensitive, why everyone is so heightened, it is part of this Neptune being in Pisces, its natural state, where we are all slightly more elevated, slightly more heightened in our awareness on what other people are feeling and what's going on energetically with the world and all these kinds of things. We're being asked to hold more compassion and to get more in touch with our dreams, not our desires, our dreams. There is a big difference. Desire is that be careful what you wish for kind of thing, but a dream is something that we can actually create that promotes and elevates some kind of bliss, and we put that onto earth to make some of the more ugly parts of life more tolerable. But anyways, today is a great day for making wishes. Today is a great day for diving into your imagination. But universally, we are being asked to have more compassion for one another, to realize that there is a domino effect at play at the moment. And so if you think that something doesn't affect you because it's happening elsewhere, that's not true. And be more accepting, be more unconditionally loving. But because this energy is so sensitive, don't be compassionate at the cost of being taken advantage of. Okay? So with this energy, you don't want your kindness to be taken advantage of, but you do want to be able to give it to people unconditionally when you have the energy to do it. Pluto, 32 degrees, the final degree, the last degree of Sagittarius. We are entering a new generation. We are soon entering a new civilization and perhaps even a new way of living or even a new government, because Pluto is going to be exiting Sagittarius and it's going to be going into Capricorn. And this is going to start a whole new way of living in a civilized manner. So this could be, if you want to look at history, the last time we had this alignment was 1776, when we had built a whole new democracy in America away from the British monarchy. This is that kind of similar alignment. We're entering a new phase where we're going to be talking about a new form of government, a new way to govern ourselves. And what that looks like, we're starting to get some of those themes and some of those hints about all these new laws being created and all these new situations coming up, and this is what we need to be paying attention to. So all of our old beliefs, with this final degree of Pluto and Sagittarius, all of our old beliefs need to die. All of the old way that we used to do things, the way that we used to view the world, all those things are no longer true. They're no longer real. Our horizons have now expanded before our very eyes, and now our eyes are more open. We're more aware of the truth that is out there. We're more aware of these things that we thought we knew that are just completely false. And so we're bringing awareness to how much we've grown spiritually, how much more aware, how much more open, how much more accepting, how much more we are awakened. And I don't want to go into that world because of this woke versus anti-woke or anything like that, but this is this Pluto leaving Sagittarius, this completion of our philosophies, our moral codes, and the dogma that we're holding to. So bring awareness to how much you've grown within the last few years and all the things that you now believe to be true. And what is your truth? Much of our year ahead is going to be shaped by the routine that we set for ourselves today. And so we want to make sure that this routine and this structure that we're going to be moving towards for 2024 is going to be in alignment with our new beliefs, our new moral code. We've shed out of our cocoon, we have grown our butterfly wings, and now we are in a new form. We are coming to a new way of living, a new way of existing, to finding more meaning in life in this new age that we're coming into. And so as we start on this journey, with this being on the 32nd degree of Sagittarius, we want to start small and integrate as we go, but things need to destroy. Things need to go through a destructive process before it can be renewed. Chiron is at 26 degrees Pisces. So again, today and for a while, because Chiron has been in this position with Pisces for a while now, this is a lot of old wounds resurfacing. And this is actually why a lot of us have been constructively working on our healing journeys a lot more. So these wounds that are resurfacing in Pisces, this is usually the things that we're choosing to suffer in silence about, or things that we were completely unaware of. So these are old wounds and old habits that have come up that have some kind of karmic charge attached to it. We are being visited by our karma in this time period. And we're being asked to face this karma in a gentle way, in a compassionate way, in a non-judgmental way. This is going to bring us to a vivid transformation and be able to take this karma and actually put out some good karma and deal away with that old, and again, embrace more of this new way of living, this new awareness, this new emotional intelligence. And by facing this old karma, we're allowing these old wounds to finally be healed, because a lot of us are walking around with wounds from childhood. A lot of us are walking around with traumatic experiences that we're not willing to talk about, and now we get to talk about them. Now we get to face them, and now we get to let them heal. And lastly, the last two is the North Node, 31 degrees Pisces, and the South Node, 37 degrees Virgo. With the North Node in Pisces, our destiny is being shaped by the fundamentals of reality right now and what we're choosing to believe about reality. We're shaping reality right now. And this is the recognition that we get in the future. All of that recognition, all that work, all those things we're working towards will completely depend 100% upon the generosity that we give now in the moment today. So with this energy with the North Node in Pisces, the 31st degree, be magnanimous. Be magnanimous today. And you may be very surprised by the blessings that come your way down the road, because collectively, as a group of people, as a group of species of living beings on this planet, we are being asked again to hold compassion for one another, to be accepting of one another, and to realize that we are all the same. Sure, we have differences. Sure, we have individualistic characteristics and things like that that separate us as individuals, but collectively we are human. Collectively we are of the same species. There is safety in us congregating together as humans. I had an experience sitting on the airplane flying back from Colorado to California from over the holidays. And most of the time, I'm really nervous to travel by myself. And I had this moment of peace sitting on the plane flying home. And it was the first time I had ever experienced that, because I realized sitting on that plane, this lady was sitting next to me. She was totally asleep. She was totally comforted on the plane, totally just sleeping, had her head nearly on my shoulder. And the lady beyond missed the woman walking by, the hostess walking by with the trash bag. And I had this moment where I had this thought. We all have something in common. We all flew to Colorado for the holidays. We're all flying back on the same day, going back to Burbank, going back to LA. There's some kind of familial energy that is here. There's some kind of connection between all of us. I don't know a single one of those 400 people or whoever, 300 people, whoever on the plane. But for one reason or another, even though we're all different, we all flew to Colorado to visit family for the holidays, and we all flew back to LA on the same day at the same time. And there was enough connection there for me that I reached over and I asked the lady for her trash. I called the flight attendant over and gave her the trash. She reached out, she touched me in the arm, she said, "Thank you." I said, "Of course." And there was it felt a little bit familial. It felt like there was some kind of energy on that plane of being like, we're with human beings, we're with each other, we're all a part of the same species. And I feel safe being among these humans. We congregate together. We all live on top of each other in cities because there is a safety, there is a peace in living with humans. And sure, you can make a lot of jokes about how a lot of the danger nowadays comes from other people being crazy and all those kinds of things. But overall, just the big picture view, holding compassion for each other, holding love and unconditional acceptance for each other, that is where the peace comes from. And I was completely comfortable in that moment, knowing that I was going to be safe, that I was okay, that I was where I needed to be. I'd totally let go of control of anything else, and I had so much peace. And that's the first time I've had that experience flying. But that is a part of what this North Node in Pisces is all about. It is shaping our reality, shaping our reality based on our connection, our ability to connect, our ability to see that we're all one. And that is what the universe wants us to do. And what gets in the way is the South Node in Virgo at the moment, 37 degrees Virgo. And this is the hive mind. And the hive mind right now with the South Node is very judgmental. It is very negative and critical at the moment, always viewing things that could be better, always seeing things that are not done right, deeming the actions of other people as stupid. We get to let go of this narrative. South Node is this past karmic energy that no longer serves us. It holds us back from our true potential as human beings. We have to realize that the judgments that we have are keeping us from truly making connections, truly making friends, truly from being a part of something greater than ourselves, because Virgo likes to put things in boxes, black and white thinking. It's all or nothing. It's black or white. We get to take a good hard look at ourselves with this energy and recognize where we're being so unattached to the emotion of the problem or the emotion of the people that we have no problem criticizing, judging, and ripping something apart or someone apart because of this perceived notion that it needs to be fixed or that it's not right. If you're experiencing any of this energy, you have a lot of personal development to do. And look to see where the South Node is in your chart, and that is the area of your life where this energy needs to be focused on. Let go of the judgment. Let go of this right or wrong way of doing things, and focus on how you can be better in that area of your life, not other people. How you can be better. Perfect the self in that area of your life, and that will be a way to disperse some of this negative karma. Otherwise, you're just going to build it up. If you find yourself walking away from a situation and then you just begin to rip it apart, or judge somebody, or criticize somebody, or commiserate with somebody about whatever, take a good hard look at what are the things that you're talking about, what are the things that are triggering you, what are the things that you're criticizing and ripping apart. There is some kind of element of that within yourself that you are ripping apart. And this is something that we get to face. Anyways, this is the meditation for today. This is something to meditate on today and get your astrological forecast. Otherwise, the best things to do after you do this kind of meditation, or after your morning meditation, your morning thing, is to make sure that you're getting some protein, and make sure you're getting some sunlight in your eyes. So again, I like to start my day off by opening those windows, getting that light in, drinking some water, doing my breathing work, doing my meditation, setting my intention for the day. And then again, first hour of the day, you want to stay away from the caffeine, and you want to make sure that you're giving yourself some protein. Protein is the best thing you can give yourself to the start of the day. And no, it doesn't have to be animal protein, but today I decided to start my day off with some eggs that that we went and got from the farmer's market, because support local farmers. And we had we had a great time. They were delicious. They set your body off right. They start your energy off right. And it is amazing how much your energy comes online when you start the day off with some water, some breath work, and then some protein. So we made, again, just a quick scrambled. It was delicious. I mean, I had to add a little bit of cheese to mine, but it doesn't take a lot. And this egg took me about maybe 4 or 5 minutes to make. But that is the best way to start the day. And then, of course, getting some sun in your eyes. Getting some sun in your eyes is wonderful. Look at the benefits. Anytime you're outside, it is before 11 o'clock, because sun reaches its highest peak, its hottest peak at noon. So if you're going to be outside from 11 till maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock, maybe you want to wear some sunglasses outside. But if it's before 11 o'clock, go outside. You don't need sunglasses. Go outside. Get some sunlight in your eyes. It'll wake you right up. Start your day off great. And let me know what your morning routine is. I'd love to hear your morning routine. This is, again, the things that we do today are the things that set us up for success in the future. And so, anyways, this is your astrological forecast for today. Let me know if anything resonates with you. Let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. And happy Moon Day.